Alright, it is 3 a.m., 3:30 a.m., and I'm going to read you all the first chapter of my accidental novel I wrote. Chapter 1, Midnight Dancer, July 9th, 2073, 2 days before the second Terrico incident. The rain came down hard, sending drones, workers, and punks scrambling for cover. My work just ended half an hour ago, but the fast tracks home was down for maintenance. I hadn't taken this street in my entire life, as crowded neon signs reminded passerby of various recycled goods stores, discount cybernetic chop shops, and small new food establishments. With the rain being able to melt through unprotected skin, I found myself sitting at a small dive bar called Circuit Breaker. Ordering a small, cheap Asian beer, I scanned the patrons who arrived with me. A majority of them looked like me, employees of Shizuka Walker who are coming off of work, the same haircut, regulation white button-up, and even similar look to remove any sense of identity. Most probably live in my have complex as well. The other patrons are an odd bunch. The bartender is a portly and hideous, half his face sliced off with an evil eye glaring down at the peons in his tavern. The room was filled with the other punks, quickly outnumbering the drones like myself. Three in particular caught my eye, sitting back in a corner booth away from the crowd. A terrifyingly huge man, easily over 6.5 feet tall. One of his arms is fully cybernetic, industrial grade, along with one of his eyes, cheap eyesight, that bulged slightly out of his head. He nurses a drink, scanning us all as if we were really any threat to him in any way. The man next to him is much smaller, with an outrageous pink and blue mohawk. As he turns his head to whisper to his larger compatriot, I see the D-link embedded to the side of his head. Direct links are illegal in most areas of the city due to data security issues, but he wears this proudly, a status symbol as he hides his eyes behind mirror shades. The last one is a woman. She's older than both of them by a few years, maybe in her early 40s. She's not cybered up at all, but her hands aren't natural. They're long and gangly. She's had some gene editing work done. I turn my back to the drink, fearing what may result if I continue to stare. My beer comes with a happy-go-lucky label and the Chinese characters on it. I begin to sip it, feeling the watery taste as I try not to overhear conversations of my co-workers as they debate loudly why they have to be stuck here. Among the other patrons filling the bar, scrap cybernetics, deluxe chrome, exotic looks, D-links, and all manners of weapons hidden under their coats. My co-workers begin to shuffle out, the rain apparently ending. I go to stand up, but pause. When is the next time I'll be able to enjoy a drink in this place? The fast tracks breaks down once a year, and they usually have it back up in a few hours while we're at work. I may as well enjoy the night while I can. I analyze the street ronin as they come in. Each is unique and approach their bar differently. Some are brutish and immediately try to muscle others off of tables. Others cling tightly to their friends or bodyguards, riding their shadows closely. Some just walk in and know they're in good company, joining any table and striking up conversations immediately. All of them seem to know each other. The tension varies across the room as bitter murmurs about one person and another start, or loud announcement about knowing this guy or that woman. Street Ronins are the world's premier disposable assets. We're told at Shizuka Walker to watch out for these dangerous people unless they're being escorted by security. The computerized training modules they force us to watch have a Ronnie Ronin in a comically evil voice saying that they want to steal company secrets and hurt its employees. While a few of the mustache-twirling villains' inspirations are here, there are many less Ronnies and more normal people with a different job. I think everyone fantasizes about being a street Ronin, able to come and go as you please, listening to no master than yourself and fighting off evil forces. Though that may just be the vid speaking. I've always admired them beyond that. They operate independently for their own reasons, and unlike the rest of us, do so willingly. They are masters of their own fate. Maybe I was daydreaming too much, as I didn't notice the woman sitting next to me at the bar. I flinch as I notice the high-quality cybernetics she has. Limco multi-directional gyroscopic high-performance arms. It looks like a set of Limco heavy-endurance industrial legs. She looks like a regular person outside of that. Shoulder-length cherry blonde hair, a tight-fitting sleeveless shirt, and a tan skin tone. She has a single tattoo on her neck, 12842-049G. It's my genetic ID. Her voice was distinct and dreamy. She tilted her head towards me. Her eyes were heterochromatic, one a deep blue while the other was an amber. I had to get it tattooed on me when I got the work done. She spun her arm around in a 360-degree motion to prove that it worked. You understand? Yeah. Neck's just an odd place to put it. Arm and leg work is usually placed in the chest. Her eyes are blank as she processes my answer. God damn it. Did I really need to sprout out panic cybernetic trivia? You won me a ticket to a free cafeteria meal. Now I'm going to get a free bullet in my gut. That was an option, but I got some internal work done, so my neck was a bit better. Straightforward, I see. You've been inspecting my cybernetics for a while now. You never seen decent chrome work? I work at shit with cybernetics on the daily. I noticed your Limco stuff was top quality. Well, a lot of the others in here could barely qualify as cybernetics. I made a grand motion to the filling bar. Heavy endurance with heavy high-performance gyros isn't exactly common either. Are you one of the Ronin? I leaned into a whisper, trying not to bring attention to the fact I'm not one myself. I ride often. The bartender handed her a drink. She looked at it before turning back to me. Where do you work anyway? You were about to say it. Fuck me in my big mouth. Shizuka Walker. They don't like us talking to people. We work there for security reasons. Fuck me. Okay, gotta fix that. She chuckled as I said that, because I am so fucked if management finds out I did. Everyone in here knows you're a Shizuka drone. The others who left wouldn't stop talking about the company. Her smile was wide as I must have given away my displeasure on my face. Bloody morons. What made you stop in here? I go to work every day, walking the same routes, watching the same shows, and going home to the same time. Something broke down, so I decided I wanted to appreciate the rest of the city. It came off a bit more melancholy than I intended, but it wasn't necessarily untrue. Shizuka Walker rarely let its employees have days off, as recreation time daily was to fulfill days off. 7 days a week, day in, day out. I turned to face her, expecting her to laugh about my hard life. She was nursing her drink, a little blue, a little dejected. Not much of a drag. No, I wish I could do that. Have some degree of sameness into my life, rather than new people, new things, and getting shot at. She said it so plainly I was taken aback a bit. I tried to recall my knowledge of street road and the hyper badasses who sliced security drones in half with swords, shot beefed-up security officers with automatic pistols, used cutting-edge cybernetics to trash their foes. In my fantasies, I must have forgotten they're just people at the end of the day. I recalled the three earlier. None of them looked like grizzled mercenary hard-asses like the vids. There wasn't even a cheesy one-liner or a suspiciously present brand name. Just people doing work. It's not easy doing what we do. More than a few kids try to get in the business and end up getting killed for it. I don't doubt it. What's your guesstimate? For every person in this bar, 3 didn't make it. She points to the last call board with her thumb. And one in here may make it big, and the rest of us will just burn out one day or catch a bullet in the head. Hell, if you put it like that, it sounds almost like the vids were lying to us. I drank deeply as she smiled, holding back a laugh. It continued like that throughout the night. Hours went by, and it felt we were conversing about nothing. I complained about supervisors and petty office squabbles, while she recounted tales of street Ronin being stupid. Stories about printer explosions and overpaid executives mingled with hardcore deck jockeys pissing themselves, or professional mercenaries getting into arguments over whether to save the dog or not. 2 people, 2 different worlds, collided for just a moment. The likelihood of this meeting happening was 1 in a billion. But neither of us decided to comment on it. We both stumbled out of the bar. The night had come to dominate the area as the bright neon lights filled our vision and the sounds of the midnight markets rang through the streets. Continuing our conversation through the winding streets, stopping at a Latin Thai noodle shop, throwing back another round of drinks with hard-talking mercenaries, and watching underground street fighters throw down in makeshift rings, drenched in the blood of the failures. During our walks, we both felt the strange tinge of the acidic rains on our skin. Diving into cover what we thought was another bar, but the sign of 2 hearts and a sleazy dive indicate to us that we've gone into a love hotel, common around these parts for prostitutes and affairs on the down low. Before I could suggest leaving, she had paid for a few hours. The room wasn't special. Large, poorly made bed, a few mirrors reflecting the room, a bathroom with a shower for 2, and a mini fridge. I never took you for the type. I never took you for the type for a place like this, I mused, looking into the mini fridge for a couple drinks. I worked in places like this for years before I got out, she announced, taking her shirt off. I nearly dropped the small airplane glasses as she looked at her back. The raw muscle mingled with the cybernetic scar tissue to create a patchwork of skin and wires on her back. It's not glamorous, but when you have debts to pay, you work or you go to a chop shop. She turns to me finally, noticing my transfixed gaze. An athletic compression bra held back her moderate bust. Her stomach was well toned, while her hips accentuated all aspects of her hourglass figure. Never seen a woman undressed before? Yes, yes, I have. I managed to stumble out, my eyes transfixed on the Amazonian goddess before me. All right, get undressed. We're going to have sex. She casually replied, like she said it 100 times before. She took her jeans off with a single motion, flinging them off to the side. Laying on her side on the bed, I downed a shot and scrambled to take off my shirt and pants. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and I'm sure as hell going to take it. As I get closer to the bed, fumbling with the belt, she reaches forward, pulling me closer, crotch height as she lounges on the bed. She takes off the thin leather belt with her metallic fingers. The pants drop with a thud, my underwear being removed soon after. My cock stands tall in her face. She moves her fingers along my shaft, finding each vein and running her finger along it. She kisses the head, her tongue used to play just enough. She gives me the same little smirk as her lips around its length. Oh god, that's a fucking terrible line. She works the cool metal fingers along the sensitive ball sack as I feel my lower half melt. Warm and inviting, her mouth feels like heaven as I feel the small scrapes of her teeth along the flesh. Her tongue moves in harmony with the bobbing head. She moves quickly, only to go slow again, speeding up, slowing down, all to match the rhythm that only she and I know the beat to. I hear the wet pop as she pulls off, grabbing my small frame and tossing me onto the bed, mounting me with ease. We press against each other's unfamiliar bodies as our lips explore uncharted territory of each other's skins. She looms above me like a neon angel in the murky lights of the room. You're going to take the lead on this one, drone. Her voice was nothing but a whisper as I heard the gyros in her arms snap out of the sockets. She presses her now armless torso against mine as I twist her around, now on top. I grab my cock and ease it forward, slowly feeling her warm clit envelop me in its embrace. Thrust after thrust, speeding up, kissing kiss after kiss, exploring every aspect of her body with my tongue as she lets out quiet moans of pleasure. As I press against her, I can feel her heartbeat, strong, an irregular beat. I know it's internal work that must be working as intended, possibly a double heart or a handful of organs that must have been replaced. Live arms make it easy to maneuver her thin body around during sex. I reach around her back, bringing her close for an embrace. She bites hard on my shoulder. This must be her kink, the feeling of being helpless. If she were attacked now, she'd be dead before she could react. I couldn't save her, and she knew that. This must be exciting for a street run-in. The very act of vulnerability and would be like free-falling without a parachute. Feeling the wind rush towards you in horrifying and instant death. The excitement is not derived from the body. It's from the very act of having sex in a situation like this excites her. I'm just a sex toy for her at this moment, an ability to feel pleasure and stimulation without emotional connection. And she puts me in a leg lock, her heavy industrial legs making it impossible for me to move. She whispers into my ear, "Come inside, drone. You can't be a father with me." I find myself stuck inside her. The pressure builds up as I press against her again, kissing her neck, lips, and face as my cock screams in my anticipation. In one final act of strength, I pull out and thrust back as hard as I can. She lets out a little yelp as I spurt everything I can. I collapse on top of her, my entire body drenched in sweat and sex. But even with my strength, I wouldn't be able to defeat her. As the pleasure she was feeling was already subsided, we rolled off each other. I lay there in a daze, hearing the gyro-stabilized arms snap back into their sockets. Fatigue gets me finally, as I drift off into a place far outside this little room. I wake up with the ringing of my phone in my pants pocket across the room. Scrambling, I notice it's my 3-hour alarm. Shit, I need to get ready. Look at the hotel room, the hangover overpowering any rational thought. I realize one thing, though. She's gone. Not even a note where she may have gone. All her clothes have disappeared. It's almost like 12842-049G never existed. That night was just a blur of my imagination. I panic and look around the room. No time to think. I gotta get ready for work. I leave the hotel quickly, my uniform scuffed but presentable. I walk the unfamiliar back alley markets, trying to look like I don't want to get mugged, and get back to the road to work, just like always. Just like always.